Modesty is not merely a manner of dress or speech. It is a way of being, a moral shield that protects the soul and preserves the dignity of civilization. It is the quiet strength that refines human behavior, purifies intentions, and guards society from moral decay. When modesty fades, arrogance rises. When humility disappears, chaos follows. A modest individual, man or woman, becomes the guardian of decency, the living example of self-respect and discipline. In truth, modesty is the unseen force that holds the moral fabric of every culture together. From the beginning of time, every faith and tradition has upheld modesty as a divine virtue. It was the mark of prophets, the trait of noble women, and the sign of wise men who knew that without moral restraint, civilization collapses from within. The Holy Scriptures remind humanity that modesty is not just a personal virtue, but a command from the Creator, a protection against temptation and moral corruption. When people lose modesty, they lose the fear of God. And when the fear of God disappears, society begins to worship its own desires. A modest person walks through the world with balance, neither drawing attention through vanity nor hiding in false shame. Their confidence comes not from appearance, but from purity of character. Modesty teaches that the body, the mind, and the soul are sacred trusts, not commodities for display. It encourages simplicity over extravagance, grace over glamour, and sincerity over show. In a world obsessed with exposure, modesty stands as a reminder that true worth is found in restraint and virtue, not in display or desire. Civilizations that upheld modesty, whether ancient or modern, always flourished in peace and stability. Modesty creates an atmosphere of respect between men and women, strengthens the institution of family, and reduces the temptations that lead to social unrest. It builds trust within society, for when people respect boundaries, relationships remain pure and families remain intact. A culture that loses its modesty loses its foundation. It begins to value pleasure over purpose, appearance over character, and luxury over morality, and such a civilization, no matter how advanced, cannot endure. For women, modesty is the crown of character, the mark of self-respect and inner grace. It is her protection from being treated as an object, and her means of being honored as a human being. A modest woman commands respect not through loudness or rebellion, but through quiet dignity and moral strength. Her modesty is her power. It preserves her purity, guards her heart, and inspires others to rise to her moral standard. She becomes not a follower of trends, but a teacher of values. And in her presence, men are reminded of their own responsibilities to protect, respect, and honor. For men, modesty is not less essential. It is reflected in their gaze, their manners, their humility, and their conduct. A modest man respects women, protects his family's honor, and controls his desires. His modesty builds the walls that safeguard civilization from corruption and moral collapse. When both men and women embrace modesty, peace reigns in homes, justice prevails in societies, and faith flourishes in hearts. Reviving modesty is not about rejecting modern life. It is about restoring balance within it. It is about choosing dignity over desire, character over charm, and virtue over vanity. It is about living in such a way that our behavior, clothing, and speech reflect our inner faith and respect for divine law. Civilization is not destroyed by weapons. It is destroyed by moral weakness. And the cure for moral weakness lies in the return of modesty. Let us remember, modesty is not outdated. It is timeless. It is the golden thread that connects faith, culture, and humanity. If we wish to preserve our culture, protect our children, and restore our moral compass, we must begin with modesty, in thought, in action, and in heart. The civilization that walks with modesty walks under the light of divine wisdom, and the people who live with modesty carry within themselves the true beauty of humanity. Please subscribe and press the bell icon to receive notifications of future videos when uploaded.